at the cash, look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit out a jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how the poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over baby. Put the brand on me.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Houston Texans. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Ryan on first down. And finding the tight end Hooper. The 40, 30. A huge play there right off the bat. 57 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed they went right into the game plan, attack them early, see if they're going to play any better, and if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change. Now that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football, and you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now they'll run it on the toss. He finds an opening past the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league. And we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. Now that's caught inside the 20. They give him a gain of 38.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Four down. Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
To throw on 3rd down, Herrera. Hard throw, incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game. Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if you guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down. A little tough on the secondary there. In zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And there on the tackle, Shaq Lawson.
Let's give plenty of credit to the defense there. They stuffed them on 2nd and short. But if you're the offense, why would you change what you're doing? You've got a whole nother down to pick it up, and maybe even a 4th if you so choose.
And they'll go on the ground. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Wasn't a ton of space, but a great move. He's able to work it to the 20-yard line. Andre Howell, the one to bring him down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Over! Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On 1st down, Herrera flushed out right, and that'll be incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Herrera, he sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big-time play there for the Texans. 61 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of 9 there, and it puts him in better shape here for 2nd and goal.
No. Check. Patriot. Watch him now, Barney.
He's going to get it running right. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans draw a bit close. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now it's Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. And he will find his man on the outside. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On second down, here's Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Ryan in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Again, Ryan. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. The quick slant caught. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Throwing again, Ryan. And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, third down.
Now we've got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Here's Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. In for the score. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. Well, September sure treated him kindly. Now we flip over to October. Any reason to think that those numbers drop, or can he keep the pace up?
Well, he can keep the pace up, but it's going to get a lot more difficult now. To me, it's a lot like baseball. All right, when guys, when they first hit the league, whether it's a pitcher or a hitter, and they go through the league the first time and they're hot, people are going, wow, what a phenom. Then they get tape on them. They get scouting reports. They start to do different things. Let's see if he's going to adapt and expand his game.
And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
All right, here we go. Blue, line it.
Operating from the gun, Herrera. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He's got a man, complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun! 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 Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Herrera. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. So we have reached halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Throwing on 1st down, Herrera. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually do it.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
And they'll run it here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a 3rd and about 14.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out.
Here we go.
but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Well, last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herrera. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A very solid gain of 27.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. He's having a nice little game. Maybe already has an eye on that 3rd touchdown.
And how about what our producer, Christian McLeod, likes to say when they've scored touchdowns like this? He's put a tent up in Touchdown City.
Off play action. Herrera. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. I guess the coach looked at the 2-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a 3-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a 2-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Certainly had to do last possession, that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some 1st downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for it in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Now a play fake here on first down. And he fires one incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Green 39. Green 39.
Off the play fake. Herrera. He finds his target, Fuller. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing.
Back now in Houston. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. On first down, Herrera. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the gun, Herrera. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Houston. DJ Moore, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Touchdown.
Elliott now to add the extra point. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down. We know he's got the arm, but watch out for those wheels.
Kind of harkens back to guys they used to call the scrambler and the dodger. This guy can make it work with his legs.
Field opened up. He took advantage. They're going to lift and throw. And it's caught over the middle. Hooper. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Green 39.
They'll drop the throw. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So the failure to convert no doubt really hurts, but this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help in a big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. You know, I was going to ask you if maybe they should surprise and pass the ball, but where they're at on the field, I think keep it on the ground, right?
I like where you're going with this one because field position is going to determine these play calls. And backed up where they are, I don't even think about putting the ball in the air. I tell my running backs, grasp the football. And I tell my offensive line, don't allow any leaks so they get hit immediately when we hand it off.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Off play action. Herrera. Going back to Moore. This time he's got it complete. And down he'll go at the 25. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DJ Moore with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. You can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Looking to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of 2 halves, won't you?
Hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
On 1st and 10, Pereira. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack. Back at the 47-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Operating from the gun, Pereira. And this one is incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
3-19.
Looking to throw. Pereira. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. And with 45 seconds showing, he spikes the football. To throw on second down. Pereira. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The Texans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Off the play fake. Pereira. And he's going to find his go-to man so far. That's Moore. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 24. And that will write a finish to this ball game. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for Houston, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road.
Tell me why I would on the rose bar couch in my bag. Bands in my denim. In my denim, she was trying to for it out. She don't give a. She was in her bag. Fendi and some lane. Asked for a burger. Watch in the front seat of the fouled out J. We living so wild like Nas. When she was on vacation. We was on roll like tires. What we gon' I'm in my bag like I'm in my bag, Mike. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag.